Hello there! So the SINoALICE collab has landed and we can go ahead and take a look at the banner as promised. And furthermore, in this video, we'll do a little character showcase as well. Let's take a look here. All right, so we knew quite a bit about these characters beforehand, but now we have all the juicy details. Let's get in here for a review. So, SINoALICE here, I would say if you can get her to Awakening 3, she is the best party buffer for Arena in the game. Because she has. Again, this is only if you get her at A3, you're going to have to do a ton of pulls for that. So be careful. Okay, so there's a Valiance. It's only 10, but you know that's a third passive. They're always less. But you are, without that Awakening, you are guaranteed to get a flat agility, 20%. Two other characters have this, 9S and Celeb Akaha. And then party crit, 10%. Oh my god, so good. So good. And look at this, if you get her at A4, her base attack is pretty impressive. Okay, the debris, agi debris, it's always good, you know. Okay, character skill. We have an attack buff to party and a water buff to party, and if she's holding a water weapon, then everyone gets reduced cooldown time. Pretty sweet, so she's great, PvE water buffer. The weapon, it's got some short cooldowns, this is nice, 14. 18 is not ideal, but if you're short on arena weapons, this can be a placeholder. But the passives are where it's at, and we have a liquid boon with timed agility. And there's only one other in the game, that's the Silver Snow Claw, the sword, so it's really cool to have a second one. All right. So again, really nice water support PvE, really amazing general party buffing support PvP. All right, Noel. Now, it turned out I really needed this Noel on my account. Personally, I don't have Fractured Akaha, and I don't have Bloodless F66X. Those are the two fire buffers. And I didn't realize when I talked about her before that the character skill not only has a defense break, but it has a party fire buff. Awesome. And then a flat Valiance attack, attack buff to party. Really nice. And then a Verve to party, fire weapons up 40%, stats on fire weapons. Okay, oh, resilience. I didn't notice that before. That's pretty cool. If you get her at A3, that's even more party buffing. So she's a great support, but look how strong she is as a support. Usually supporters don't hit so hard. And granted, she has a 3-hit. It's only a 3-hit, but it doesn't matter. It's here for the utility. And, you probably don't. Maybe you don't need her, that's very reasonable. You already have the other fire buffers. It turns out I really needed her, and I'm stoked. And the weapon is great. We got another one of these haste and boon weapons. Fire specific, of course. And that's always a great combo to have. And great utility as a main hand because we have a defense break. Yep, and fire crush. Yeah, make the enemy take more damage from fire attacks. 30 seconds. That's great. So that'll last the whole knockdown, and we'll see that in a moment, actually. Now, to give you an idea of like her usefulness as support, I want to show you something as I was building an arena loadout. Oops, take a look at this. Okay, so we have Akaha here, and we're going to talk about her in a second. Look how strong she is. So obviously she has a Subjugation sword. This is, again, a PvP loadout. We have the Noel spear in the subs for the Blaze haste, and the Lars sword for regular haste cooldown, and full cooldown sets. Her crit rate is already almost 100. By adding Saryu, it makes it 107, I'm not going to go that far. All I want to show here is what we get just by slotting in Noel with her, because obviously they synergize together very well. Let's go ahead and drop her in there. Did you see Akaha's attack was 27,000 some odd? And Noel bumped it up to 31,005. Whew. So, yep, that's what you get from her as a party support. Again, she's going to augment your fire users especially well. Okay, so speaking of which, here she is. And like I mentioned before, very impressive stats as a DPS. All DPS passives, including the new drive, which gives your weapons 100% stat bonus. And then if you manage to get this third awakening, the third passive, crit rate, it makes her so easy to build. As you just saw, her crit rate was so high. And the real, you know, what seals the deal here is a character skill that makes it very easy to cap. Okay? So if you have, this is going to be strong in any element, really, you'll get 400. But if you have a fire weapon, it's 50% of that. It makes it 600 times 4. Okay. So it's kind of like Yuri, where you just have like a great multiplier, and the character skill makes it very easy to hit cap. Only drawback is it's only a 4 hit. So if you have Celeb Yuri, she probably is still going to be your better DPS out of the two. But if you're comparing Akaha to the other two-hand sword users, she definitely power creeps A2, of course. She's maybe... I want to hear your thoughts on this compared to... Because I've heard differing opinions, how she compares to Summer 063Y. I feel like she's a little better, but, you know, Summer 063Y has the crit damage passive and a crit damage buff on his character skill, but he's very similar, right? He's got vigor, crit rates, and if you get his awakening, he has a crit damage. So again, the crit damage is nice. They're kind of neck and neck for me, you know? So she kind of is a side grade if you already managed to get a lot of really good DPS characters. She's not a must, but she's very fun. And as I mentioned in my last video, I just really wanted all the skins anyway, even if I didn't really need them as an upgrade. I really gunned for Saryu the hardest, and spent my pity there to make sure I got her awakenings. And I got lucky to get her at A3 as well. And the weapon is one of these generic damage weapons that has a self buff for attack and a burst. Okay, and we'll see this weapon in action. I did a little demo in Subjugation where I used this weapon. Cool. And a Blaze Boon, always welcome. And that'll make it even a good sub weapon too. So there you go. In summary, Saryu, you know, god tier arena support as a party buffer. Separate from, like, you know, in the support category, we also have like the provoke tanks and Demos and F66X Summer and all that. But as a party buffer, she's the best. She's pretty much an upgrade to Christmas Fio because she brings the crit as well. Just a little different here with the flat versus the timed agility. But you can stack timed agility on top of that. It gives you a better base. Really awesome. Noel, like, really good fire supporter PvE. Very strong for a supporter. And then, you know, pretty top tier DPS. Not really power creep. You know, kind of like Anniversary was definitely power creep. This is kind of a side grade, but a very, very good side grade. That's how I feel about it. Let's take a look at some battle. I went ahead and built an arena team with all 3 of these girls. Okay, so let me pause so I can just... Okay, so this is just versus another regular cooldown team. So we can take a look at, you know, how hard the auto attacks hit. And you can see, you'll see that my team is very fast thanks to Saryu. We all have 1 stack of attack buffs thanks to Saryu. And everyone's crit rate looks amazing thanks to Saryu. Now, Noel also brings a base attack buff to the party. So she's a great spear wielder for arena, if you ask me. She brings party buffs. That's, of course, if you're pairing her with a fire user that can take advantage of that verve. Let's watch this battle. So nice looking auto attacks. Okay, time for the skills to go off. And here we go. You see Akaha is hitting Marie a Water Marie. So this is a resisted element, and she's still hitting over 100,000 with that second skill. Very nice. Right. So here I came up against a Griff Demos team. Now, admittedly, I have been kind of dragging lately. This is not top 50. This is more top 100. So take it with a grain of salt. This I don't know how well this player has built their team, right? Or where they place. So it's not like I'm versus a top 10 player here. Just keep that in mind. But still pretty cool that I have a regular cooldown turret team. All right, I tried to take Griff out with autos, but he used his character skill. He healed up. We got demost, so we're weaker now. Sorry, you couldn't quite finish the job. Hit decent numbers. Okay, I finished it. So 3 skills, and Griff is done, and the battle's over. Cool. And then we'll check out one more. This is with a single Griff with, I assume, 2 turrets. Yeah, they have subjugation weapons. And let's see how Saryu handles that Griff. They have built Griff in a typical way, wielding the EX Demos gun, so he's dark, and this gives me a chance to bring a good light attacker, which we were kind of lacking. Again, I said this before, we were kind of lacking like a really good user for that awesome subjugation staff. So, Saryu, see, that was the reduced damage, and now here's her skill 2. Leave it to me. So yeah, Griff is down, and battle's over, and that's pretty much it for that. So it ended up being a very fun arena team, just using these 3 new characters. And I wanted to do a little bit of PvE showcasing, so I recorded a battle in the EX Hard 5 of the new event, and it wasn't even worth showing to you because they killed, like, I didn't even get a character skill off. They killed it too easily. So, you know, take that for, you know, how powerful they are. Of course, they get the event bonus too. And they were all max ascended, so their bonus is just stupid. It wasn't worth showing. So I went ahead and built a quick subjugation loadout with nothing in wave 1 or 3. Just so I could put these 3 girls in wave 2 to showcase what they can do. Now, let me clarify that this is versus the Wind Moose, and on a fire team, I would not be bringing Saryu in PvE for a fire support, but again, I just wanted to showcase these girls. Okay, let's get into this. Let me looks a little messy. That's a little better. Okay, it's all right. Let's skip. Okay, this is just me blowing wave 1. And I'm also going to skip through the beginning of this as well. This is just regular subjugation setup. I just kind of was getting a feel of it. I just launched the full combo, started to stack my attack buffs. We can watch this actually. Let's see what Akaha does pre-knockdown. It's whatever. Okay, let me go forward. Okay, so everyone's character skill is ready. And I can see I'm ready to trigger a knockdown. So I'm going to do Saryu's buff. The other thing I wanted to mention here is you notice, just for showcasing purposes, I went ahead and slotted in Akaha's own weapon. Where if I'm really trying to push scores, I might give her like the Lars sword or an EX weapon or something like that. Okay, just so you know. Okay, we're ready here. Noel's gonna pop those weapon skills for some debuffing. Okay, there's the Saryu buff. We don't get to see the cool animation because she doesn't have the right weapon. Okay, defense break, the fire crush, and then that triggered it. I kind of wanted Noel's character skill to trigger it, but it still worked out. So here's Noel's character skill. Applying the even more defense break and the fire buff. Akaha capping with the character skill. Let's get some weapon skills to hope to recharge that character skill. Companion, of course.
Do it.
There it is again. Capping again, double character skill, beautiful. Okay, so like I said, I kind of blew the rest just because I wanted to see what I could accomplish with just these 3 girls in Wave 2. So here you'll see, yep, I'm just kind of blowing this wave. And just Wave 2, let's see what we got. Managed to get an SSS2 with just those 3 girls in Wave 2. So very cool. I'm really pumped on these characters. Again, it's not necessarily a must pull for you. If you really want to upgrade your arena support, Saryu is really awesome. And if you really need a 2-hand sword DPS, Akaha is really awesome. Otherwise, you might be able to get away with skipping. And, you know, it might come down to just like, for me, for example, I just really wanted those costumes because they look so cool, you know? All right, that's all I got for this video. Thanks so much, as always, for watching and hitting like and subscribe and all that stuff. Thanks for the support. See you in the next one.